Nice people are some of the most twisted bastards on earth. Surely I'm not the only one who's witnessed some of the most abominable 7th level of hell type scandals from people everyone thought was perfect. Stick around. We're gonna talk about how we'll exorcise these demons for good. Lord knows it's Hoarse code. Like and subscribe to become an official Hoarserider. Trust me, it's one hell of a ride. You ever meet someone so utterly nice, it's a little irritating? They're always smiling with their crusty, unbrushed teeth, nodding their massive, unlotioned heads at everything you say, even if it might be disrespectful, and throwing out excessive compliments, some being so abysmally cringe. Overall, just being so relentlessly pleasant that it feels disingenuous, fake. You can't put your finger on it, but something about them just feels off. Like there's a real person in there, but they've been smoothed over and diluted. And that's the thing about niceness, especially in modern society. It's less about showing who you truly are and more about showing what others will accept, often at your own expense. But niceness isn't only self-sacrificial, it's poisonous even, in my opinion, and poisonous to society. Because the more this kind of quiet deceit spreads, the less and less we trust each other. And without trust, we're left with nothing. And that is why I find this vein of nice people so irritating. It's because deep down, you know they don't mean all of it. Even none of it, actually. They're being dishonest with you and even with themselves. And when that kind of niceness becomes the norm, people start questioning each other's intentions. Because when being agreeable is a performance, it becomes difficult for people in society to know who's actually there for them and who's simply playing the part. And this gets more ridiculous, even pathetic, when it comes to romantic setups because, you know, you have some people, right? Especially the fellas, bro. I gotta be honest. Some of the brothers out here pretend to be nice because they think that's what's gonna get them favors, and in my opinion, that's pretty weak. That is manipulative. You're putting on a facade to hopefully get closer to the opposite gender, you know. And on the other end of the spectrum, you have women who will feign attraction, they will feign kindness to people who they know they couldn't care less about to get whatever it is from them. And in this case, it often is something material, something to do with, or even status, something that they can gain from this relationship. It becomes transactional for them, and it's a different kind of niceness, which is honestly, in my opinion, equal to that of the fake nice guy. And the result of all this is the people on the receiving end of such manipulation will be disheartened, thinking they made it to the finals when they wasn't in the league in the first place. Damn. It teaches them not to trust, not just the person who manipulated them, but the next one, and the next one after that. And that's another danger I see with performative niceness. It chips away at authenticity. It erodes sincerity. And overall, it prevents genuine connection. And it's low-key the reason why you got some hurt brothers out here turning to stuff to do with red pill content. Could be pseudo alpha male content. And end up being these bitter, you know, hateful beings. And on the other end, you got women turning towards toxic hyper-feminist content that diminishes men. So you see how these kinds of things impact the people we become and the society that results because of it. With all this being said, now it brings us to the question, why do people do this? Some are simply scared as hell, unfortunately, trying to retain social acceptance because they don't feel accepted as their true selves. And to some degree, honestly, I do feel sorry for these people. I generally do empathize with these folk because this often is subconscious and it often stems from past traumas and hurt. It's quite sad, you know? And others are simply just fake. These people will carefully shift who they are, how they talk, what they believe, simply to fit in whatever space they're in. In my opinion, code switching isn't necessarily a bad thing. But when your whole personality drowns in conformity, you become formless. If all you're doing is agreeing with everything, doing everything everyone else is doing, then who are you? And it's sad, because these mannerisms make most of them roll with anything and everything, taking every single slight and disrespect. But the thing is, those who always turn the other cheek end up getting cheeky if they aren't careful. Bars. You see, the nice people tend to develop contempt for others over time. Because the truth is, people don't respect the nice person, not even when they're being genuinely kind. But with the nice person specifically, those people who are pretentious, those people who are fake about it, a big reason they aren't liked is because people can sense inauthenticity in their being. And inauthenticity makes you untrustworthy, because inauthenticity is deceit. So, now that we've covered all this, what do we do, right? How do we break out of this cycle of fakeness? First, you gotta realize niceness ain't kindness. Niceness often is fear masquerading in a smile. It's the fear of rejection, it's the fear of conflict, and the fear of being disliked. And that's very much different from kindness, because kindness, on the other hand, is real. You can say no, you can draw boundaries, you can be silent after an awful coma-inducing joke. You can walk away from what isn't meant for it. Kindness can hurt sometimes, because kindness is rooted in love, and genuine love is what allows connection to actually exist. If you're a people pleaser, you need to understand, you're not helping anyone by hiding who you are. You're simply delaying the moment they realize you're not who you pretend to be. And that moment's gonna suck balls. If you're being nice to get something, it's time to face reality, brother, sister. You're not being kind, you're being manipulative. Even if you may not see it, even if you're scared to see it, that's just the facts, man. The world doesn't need more nice people. It needs more kind people, you feel me? People who are honest, even when it's incredibly uncomfortable. People who aren't afraid of being disliked for being honest. People who care enough to set boundaries instead of just rolling with things. Because only when we drop these little facades, these masks, can we actually find connection, trust, and love that actually means something. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the reason why being nice is evil.